We're talking about the weak spot. The weak spot on a chessboard are the pawns here that I've highlighted in red. They're weak because of two reasons. Number one, the only thing to protect them is the king. You can see all these other chess pieces, none of them protect this pawn. Compared to the other pawns, say this one here I've marked with yellow, lots of pieces protect it. We have the knight, we also have the bishop, queen, and the king. So because the f pawn is only protected by the king, we say it's weak. But also, another reason that it is weak is this pawn, whenever it moves, we actually put our king in danger because we've opened up a diagonal to our king. In particular, we call this diagonal the deadly diagonal because if a diagonal piece, say, lands on it, if we insert two moves here for black, it's quite hard for the player that's weakened their king by moving their f-pawn to block in an efficient way. They can't block with any pieces, which means they have to block with their pawn. And if white ever intended to castle over this side of the board, you can see that pawn move makes it a bit weaker. To demonstrate why the weak spot is weak, I'm going to quickly show you two fast games. This one is a very old game played by Damiano, and we don't know who his opponent was. So Damiano starts with e4, e5, knight f3 attacking the pawn, and here black makes a bad move, moving their weak spot. Now our queen, we can try and get it out to h5, where we would be attacking black on their deadly diagonal. And, well, if we want to get our queen out to h5, all we need to do is move our knight. So we take on e5, and when they take back, the line's free for our queen. So we can attack in on the diagonal. Black doesn't really have any good blocks. Notice here, if they block with their their pawn, the queen takes this, and we've played a tactic in chess we call a fork, where you're attacking two things at once. White would win the rook and win the game. So instead, in this game, black instead moved their king. White took the pawn with check. King sort of stranded, running around by himself. And white's move is very easy. White develops a bishop with check, king's on the run again, queen checks the king again, king's on the run, and here white plays a discovered check, another tactic. He moves one pawn and opens the door for the bishop, so the bishop's attacking the king. All right, black, well, they either need a block with their queen, which doesn't look very good because then we take it, or they block with their pawn, and they blocked with the pawn in this game. But now another tactic, this pawn is now pinned. We might have learnt this in another lesson, but once a piece is pinned, we try and attack it again. So Damiano attacked it with his pawn. They moved their bishop, and now a double discovered check. King's on the run, and queen f7's checkmate. This game quickly shows you some of the dangers with moving your weak spot early.